It's Wednesday. So you know what that means? Yeah, Wine Wednesday. Join your host, James McGee, for a glass of wine and discussion about current events. No matter what's going on in the world, it's easier to swallow mixed with some wine.
Welcome back to the James McGee Show. I am your host. I am James McGee. It is Wine Wednesday. So before I get started, talk about what we're drinking. And I am drinking out of my official James McGee Show wine glass provided by engravedinusa.com, our friend Rich Crummon. So I'm drinking Tuaca brandy. So brandy is a fish is technically is wine. I just had dinner. Glass of brandy sounded good, so that's what I'm drinking tonight. Tuaca brandy, about a $20 bottle. It's really good. So as I stated, until November, we're going to talk about the election and talk about issues that come up. I've had a lot to say this week in some video blogs about the DNC, but last week I talked about uh, the two biggest issues that I think, and next week I'm going to break down what I feel like should be the strategy going forward for Donald Trump's victory. So last week we covered Homeland Security, the border, um, which to me, everything, like I said last week, I'll recap it. Everything stems from the border. Until we secure the border, it's like putting our tie on before we put our shirt on. Got to secure this border. It affects the economy. It affects Homeland Security. It affects every single facet of our lives. We have to secure the border. Number two is the economy. So, in my past life in law enforcement, we, in the last probably 10 years that I was there, I was a commander, we got into intelligence based. We got into stats really heavy in intelligence based policing, which is effective. But I felt like one time we were in a meeting and it was everything was about numbers. Everything was numbers. And I finally just said, hey, time out. We have got to get out of the numbers business and get into the people business. Numbers only tell you so much. And let's be honest, they can be manipulated. Numbers can you tell me what you want to achieve, and I've done this in political strategy. Tell me what you want to achieve, and I'm gonna figure out the numbers. I'll find the numbers to prove that. So, like today, numbers came out that 800,000 less jobs than what was originally reported by Biden administration. I don't give a shit about all that. We're gonna talk about economy tonight, and we're not in the numbers business tonight. We're in the people business. I'm not quoting any stats. I've done a lot of research. I'm not quoting any stats. I'm not looking at any stats. This is what I want to ask you as people, as American citizens. Are you better off right now than you were 4 years ago, 5 years ago? Let's say five, because COVID, they trying to blow that thing up. Let's go back to 2019, 2018. Were you better off? How's your investments? How you feeling at the grocery store? I'm gonna tell you, I, I'm fortunate. I've my wife and I have we've done okay. I'm retired. I've got a good retirement. Our kids are grown. They support themselves. I don't see how young couples are making it. I feel it pretty good at the grocery store. I feel it at the gas station. That's what it is about. So get a so ask yourself, am I better off? Quit listening to all these numbers and all these people with agendas. Hey, quit listening to people like me. Don't listen to me. Listen to yourself. Listen to your bank account. Listen to how you feel when you go to the store. Do you have too much month at the end of the money? That's what it's really about. It's not about any numbers and any stats that can be manipulated. It is about the people and how the people are feeling. And I think we know the answer to that. That's hard to argue. I mean, Kamala has been touting that. She has been saying, "Hey, the economy is terrible. You're paying 50% more for beef, 50% more for gas." Okay, but and I'm not going to get too much of a rant about her, but I will say this: that's on her. That's on her administration. That's on Biden Harris administration. They continuously run. They're running like Donald Trump's in office. He's not. He's been out of office for 4 years. Quit blaming him. It's on y'all. And then let's look at plans. Now she come out. This is why I have been on this really crusade to point out how much or what they're really about. All they do, the Democratic Party, Kamala is the absolute worst one, is pander and patronize. They think their base is stupid and they throw little bullets. They have no plan. They throw this little bait out there. The latest one was price fixing. She's going to cap prices. Well, I'm not an economist. I have, I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of research. I mean, I educate myself, but I'm not an economist. I'm far from an economist. Well, I know enough to know that that's not even possible. They tried that in the 70s and it completely failed. That's not even possible. So to not get too deep into it, say you're going to cap the price of milk. All right, we're going to cap the price of milk. It can't be over $3. Well, that's so at the store you can only pay $3. Well, that goes all the way down. That goes all the way down to nobody can charge more. Nobody can. Employees can't get raises. There's there's so much that has to do this. There's 20 steps before it gets to that store. You got the farmers. You've got, if gas goes up, it affects the farmers. It affects everything. So you're going to have to go through those 20 steps, but it's 20 steps before it actually gets to the shelf. And they say, okay, you can only pay $3 for a gallon of milk. Well, that makes absolutely no sense. And she is not, I don't think she's stupid. I think she's conniving. I think she's crazy. And I think she is just a piece of shit. And the reason why I say that is because she knows damn well that doesn't work. She has no plans to do that. She knows you can't do that. But she wants to pander the base and talk about the rich people. And she's pretty damn rich. But she was not like Donald Trump. She didn't go start a business. She got rich off of the government. She got rich off of the government. So she is not for the poor. And the Democratic Party is not for the poor. They have no economic plan. They absolutely have no economic plan. Or if they had one, our economy would not look like it does right now. What's Trump's plan? It's pretty simple. Stimulate the economy. He gets criticized about big business. It's not big business, it's every business. I own a small business. And when you have tax breaks and you have tax incentives, what does that do? That creates jobs. Democrats don't know anything about creating jobs. Nothing. They've never been successful at that. We have depleted. One of the reasons the fuel, the gas is the way it is. We have depleted our oil reserves. Yeah, it drove gas prices down. We had no oil reserves. We're so dependent on these foreign countries. Trump wants to be oil dependent. That's going to create jobs. I mean, he wants to put tariffs on other countries to import. What is that going to do? That provides incentives for manufacturing in the United States. What does that do? That creates jobs. He has a really good plan for that. And the Democrats have no plan. So when you think about the economy, which is the second most important issue, Homeland Security, immigration is the number one because it affects everything else. But number two is close number two is the economy. Those are really the two only issues in this race to me is the economy and Homeland Security. That's it. Everything else is all bullshit. I don't care what race Kamala Harris is. I don't care what she identifies as. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if she was a mistress to Willie Brown and that's how she rose through ranks. I give a shit less about that. I don't care how many porn stars Donald Trump has slept with. I could care less. Economy, Homeland Security, period. That's what we have to focus on. I'm going to talk about that next week about he has got to get off of all this other shit and hammer down sniper attack. Quit shotgunning and sniper attack those two issues. That is what makes our country the great country it is and as strong as it is. So we have got to stop all this propaganda and all this bullshit and get to what matters. And what really matters is Homeland Security and the economy. So we'll be back Friday for The World Doesn't Give a Fuck Friday. Until then, McGee is out.